If you've been using Claude Code for a while, or even if you're totally new to it, you might be like me. I've got 4 sessions of Claude Code open right now, and I spend half my day talking between them and switching between terminal sessions. I literally have to copy from one, paste into another one, and explain everything again. I do this about 30 times per day, and I never once counted it as work. But it's taxing. You spend time switching between the terminals and you don't know where you left off. But there's 3 things that Claude Code just launched, and one of them killed that completely. Because none of them need installing, they're already on your Claude Code right now. So in this video, I'm not just going to simply list them, I'm going to run one real job end to end, and you'll see all 3 do their bit. So let's go. Alright, so the first one, and this one changed how I use Claude Code, because your sessions can now talk to one another. Up until this month, 4 sessions meant 4 sessions that knew nothing about each other. So if session 2 needed what session 1 just worked out, you had to manually copy and paste it across or ask for a markdown file and transfer that over. Now you just type the @ symbol, then the first letter or 2 of the session name, and it comes up in a list. Same as mentioning a person. Claude reaches that session directly. So here's exactly how I'd go about using it. So I'd start in the Claude desktop app, because I'm using this as my command center now to orchestrate all of my other Claude. Right, so I have 4 new terminal sessions open. So I'm going to go to the Claude desktop app and say something like, you are the CEO, Claude. I want you to orchestrate the 4 fresh open terminal sessions and take this handover file. Then I'm just going to paste in the handover and get each session to create the best possible version of this infographic. And then I want you to get them all to report back to you, and then get them to argue between themselves to basically come to the best possible version between you and them. And a cool new slash command is if you type in /list agents, then you can see all of your active Claude sessions currently running. So you know the exact name of the session that you want to talk to. In this instance, I simply opened 4 new fresh terminals and then used the Claude desktop app to identify those new terminals. But if you're working across many sessions which have been idle or running for a long time, then using /list agents will bring up all of the agents currently running so that you can identify them and then tag them. So as you can see, Claude is now messaging teammates, and in this instance is messaging the session called Charlie Hills 3E. So yeah, that's the first session being fired off. And the thing I really like about this is the fact that Claude will literally write the prompts for you. And these prompts are way more comprehensive and clearer than I personally would ever write them without using AI. Because one session comes back fine, but fine isn't the bar we're striving for here. I'm the one who normally has to sit there and say what's wrong with it. So now we can use 4 different Claudes to basically find different angles and critique itself and feed that all back to the CEO Claude. Because now these 4 sessions will do that for us. It reads the build, tears it apart against my own rules, and then sends the notes straight back to the builder. And then they literally just work for you. They build, critique, fix, and then critique again. Because I'm not the loop at all. I'm just watching it work. And one more thing worth knowing here is that you can ask a session to send you a notice when the next one goes idle. So instead of doing a task in Claude Code and then asking it to complete a specific goal and then it's stopping, you can make sure there's a continuous loop of critiquing and sessions working together to meet that final goal. And now you can effectively see that the desktop is running through all of the sub sessions findings and then reprompting it based on the stuff that it's discovering. For example, the CEO found 2 blockers and messaged this session on how to clear them. And again, it's prompting this session. So this is one of the most effective ways to build out a loop and a continuous cycle, not just based on a predetermined criteria or rubric, but actually letting the artificial intelligence use its intelligence to figure out the best way to approach the goal or the problem you're experiencing. And all it came from was a very simple prompt at the start. I didn't give it any specific criteria. I just simply said, create the best version possible. And whilst that works, if you do /command list agents, you can see all of the sessions currently running and when they started running. So I know that the ones that I just fired off would be Charlie Hills 5A and Charlie Hills 8D and Charlie Hills F1. So if I want to speak to a specific session, I just type in the @ symbol, paste in the session name, and then say hello to this session. And now Claude, the CEO session, is messaging that specific session saying, hello from the orchestrating session. Now this is really cool because the Claude sessions are disagreeing with one another. For example, session B made a serious claim that would undercut the original build's reasoning, and this is effectively where the CEO session then messaged it back saying, hey, your claim is incorrect. And these are the changes that you should make. And now it's building a really nice overview of all the different sessions work. And this looks exceptional. I mean, this was the original build, but then this is the additional build that's being built up by another session. And this is a really effective way to spin up multiple variations of a website, of your designs, or whatever you're working on. Because one Claude session, I find it does tend to miss stuff, versus combining multiple Claudes against one another can be an extremely effective way to make sure that it doesn't make mistakes and that you're actually getting accurate output. Right, so that brings me on to the second update, because the loop gets me to a build I'm happy with, but the second update is what I do with it. It's slash design as a brand new slash command that Anthropic just launched. I made a whole video about Claude design back in April. This is essentially that living inside of Claude code. It's a skill, it's in research preview, so treat it as early, because you've watched me build graphics in code for months. So the part I've never shown you is how much of that was me typing paragraphs describing a layout I could already see in my head. I was typing things like, move the header up, move the dead space, make it smaller, make it larger, literally like 9 times over. So you just type slash design now and you get editable artboards on a canvas, not just a description of the layout, but and the actual layout on screen that you can actually move. So I'm going to ask it to make 4 artboards of the same content with different layouts. So then we can effectively edit them all within Claude Code using Claude Design. So let me do slash design. And then we have a few commands that we can use here. We've got slash design, which is going to create a design canvas. Then we've got design sync. So I highly recommend using design sync first to sync up with your Claude design account. And then you can also use design revoke to revoke any design projects. Design consent grants Claude agent access to your design project in Claude Design. So let's just do slash command design. Then I've got a simple prompt here saying slash design 4 artboards for this same content, different layouts. Do not describe them to me. Put them on canvas so I can compare them at a glance. Great. Now this is where it gets effective. It's the ability to edit things within Claude Code. Because prior to this, things weren't editable. You'd have to vibe design and vibe code the changes that you want to make. But now with this, you can go into here and type the changes that you want to make to your design, to your prototype, whatever it might be. And you have all the functionality which Claude Design has. For example, you can change the background color. You can make specific tweaks. So this is incredibly effective, especially if you're starting from Claude Design. In this instance, I kicked off the session from Claude Code and didn't use the slash command design because I have a sophisticated infographic generation system already built out. As you can see from here, the renders in the HTML preview are far better than what Claude Design's given me there, mainly because it had to manipulate the code. But if you kick off your design session within Claude Design, using slash command design and syncing it with your design system in Claude Design, then that's an incredibly effective way to design prototypes and outputs within Claude Code. All you have to do is pick the best one, make some edits to it, go back to Claude, and now you can visually see what you're building. For me, the difference is between typing, making the header smaller 9 times, and just dragging the header using something like Claude Design. And you don't have to start from nothing, because most of this stuff you can just take an idea, a screenshot, or a design that you already have. Because Anthropic's own team use this to build out the emails that they send. For example, they sent me this today or yesterday, and this was all built using Claude Design. It is really quite gorgeous. So, like anything with Claude Code, the opportunities are limitless here. It's just all about having that idea and describing it. Because, I mean, as we just saw, it is in research preview. On some days, it's going to be better than others. And based on that initial test, it isn't quite there yet for my specific workflow. For you, it might be different. So, highly recommend giving that one a go. And now we'll move on to the final update from Anthropic that you need to know. So, the third one has been a long time coming. I've literally built custom skills and plugins to help me solve this problem. Because the issue with Claude, especially if you're non-technical like me, is that it will give you a ton of information and the outputs can be quite verbose and hard to understand. And this is exactly where the new concise output style comes into play. Because Claude's default is to open with what it understood, what it's about to do, and why. And all of that is genuinely useful in your first week. After that, it's a paragraph that you scroll past to find the answer. And honestly, it's quite overwhelming. So now put 3 sessions on one job, and that paragraph happens 3 times every round. So it's hard to multitask. And that's what I actually turned this on for. So if I just ask Claude, like, give me a summary of what you achieved this session. And then in this session, let me do /config. And then we have a few options here. I mean, so then if you type in output, there's an output style and you have default, proactive, concise, explanatory, or learning. So if we opt for concise and then give Claude the exact same prompt. So in this instance, it gave me a very long output, which is fine if you want to read every single word. It is understandable and there's not too much jargon. But for me personally, especially when I have parallel terminal sessions open at once, I don't want to read all of that text. And as you can see, it's pretty much cut down, I'd say about half of the output versus the session without concise enabled. And this is clear to digest. It's got highlighted subheadings here. So it's clear that I can just glance at that and see exactly what changed. So if you've been running /command caveman and things like that, that basically compress the communication style of Claude, then concise is what you should be defaulting to in your settings.json. So that's the three, and you just watch them do one job between them. Sessions talking, so the critique loop runs with me. /design, so I drag instead of describe. And concise, so 3 sessions aren't writing me a paragraph before they actually finally get to the point. And none of them need installing. They're already on your machine. So if you enjoyed today's video, then make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you again next week.